the loss of your dignity, and all of these things are going to come under it. Be careful and be wise as serpents, but humble as doves, and recognize that the agenda of the devil is there to destroy us, but he uses sophisticated measures, and he sometimes uses pastors like myself to destroy people's lives. Please be careful. There is an agenda about your life, and that agenda is to destroy you. But the agenda of God is always to uplift you and make sure that you have life and life abundantly. So please, in anything that you do, watch out for God's agenda so that you can be in God's agenda, and be careful of the devil's agenda so that you are not in the hands of the devil where you're being destroyed by the things of this earth and mistakes that you yourself find yourself into. You'll find pastors and many people bringing your mistakes up to try and destroy you. You will lose your job, you will lose a number of things. But when all of that happens, recognize it is the agenda of the devil to try and destroy you. Therefore, what are we saying? Look to God, the author and the finisher of your faith. He will uplift you and raise you up and out from whatever that you are struggling from, so that you're never in the agenda of the devil. Then let's move to our second point. Our second point, is from verses 11, which says, she said, "No one, Lord." And Jesus said to her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." She said, "No one, Lord." And Jesus said to her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." When you read the phrase "go and sin no more" in the Greek, what you find is that Jesus there is saying to the lady, you have missed the mark. The word there that is used there means you have missed the mark. This means that, or for instance, if you are in a target practice, all right, this means that for the target you are trying to shoot, you are not getting to it. You have missed the mark. Now, fix your posture, fix your stance, fix your mind, and fix your hands, and concentrate so that you can get to the target one more time. And so there's something that I learned, that sometimes when you're at a target, or should I say a shooting range, there's something that the instructor sometimes can do in different circumstances, where you find that they will hold the gun with your hands underneath their hands, so that they can try and transmit the very same expertise they have onto you, so that you can see how it is done practically. And when that happens, you then get to experience how it is to shoot from an expert perspective, whilst you are not an expert yourself, whilst you are an amateur. And the pro transfers their skills and holds you to experience what they experience when they shoot, transferring to you, whether through osmosis or whatever the case may be, but they're transferring their skill onto you so that you can experience what they continually do on a daily basis. And so this here is what Jesus Christ is saying to the lady. You have been trying all your life. You have been trying according to your own understanding. You have been trying according to your own means and wishes and ideologies. But if you can try with me, if I am the one who does it for you, through you, you will see that you will always get to the mark. You will not miss the mark. And that's the message that we're trying to say today, that you have been trying on all your life through things that are haywire. You have been trying through things that when you look at yourself, you realize that had I not tried, I would not be in the mess that I'm in. But now, because you're being asked to try with Jesus, if you can only try with Jesus, you'll find that circumstances are much more different than what you thought they were, because the trying of Jesus will always land you in a place that is great, rather than a place that is full of degradation and pain and tears. So try with Jesus. Are you trying a job? Are you trying to apply for a job? Try it with Jesus. Are you trying to fix the relationship between you and your family, your siblings, your mother, your father, or friends as well, or your colleagues, whatever the case may be? Try with Jesus. In your own power, you will always fail. But with Jesus, things will always come right. So that whatever it is that was causing you and your husband, or you and your wife, to be in a rift together, if you try with Jesus, things will definitely come back together. We might not know how terrible the pain and the mistakes you have done, but if you only try with Jesus, what was lost will be regained, because you have tried with the expert technique, which is the hands of Jesus. And the third and the final point which we want to transmit to everyone is found in verse 6. The Bible says here, they said, testing him, that they might have something of which to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger, as though he did not hear. I'll repeat that. This they said, testing him, that they might have something of which to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger, as though he did not hear. Please note here that they bring a lady to Jesus to try and test Jesus so that they can find Jesus. They use the Bible in order to capture Jesus, so that Jesus is in a dilemma and so that he can lose the esteem that he has within the community at that particular time. Please note, there's what we call in marketing a target audience or a target market. A target market is that audience that you want to get to, who will access the product that you are trying to market them to. So which means that you have looked at, there's a scale that they look at, which goes from 1 to 10, 10 being the richest, 1 being the poorest, and the middle class being somewhere between 3 and 8, somewhere around there, so that people can ascertain which audience would access this thing immediately. Where are we going to see immediate reactions if we make this product go to the shelves? And so the product is then designed to meet a specific idea, a specific solution to a problem, and it must have an audience so that these people know these three things, that this thing that we're going to bring is definitely going to take Jesus, or Jesus is going to concentrate on it. He's going to see it and he's not going to be able to ignore it. He is going to be in a dilemma and he will definitely have to take hold of it. And so the target market is about making sure that the audience that you're appealing to feels that they cannot live without this particular product. And so here they present to Jesus a woman caught in adultery. There's many theologians that suggest that this lady who was brought to Jesus was the lady who was called Mary Magdalene, the lady who anointed the feet of Jesus with oil and wiped his feet with her hair and all of that. And people notice that she's getting closer and closer to the master and her life is changing. She is no longer wanting too much of their services, although she might be a little bit open to them, but she's slowly but surely ending her interactions with her business as a so-called prostitute. And so they bring this lady to Jesus to try and say, this person that is now all of a sudden getting closer to you is actually circumventing or going against the laws of Moses. And what do you say? Please notice and understand here that the idea is that we want to find Jesus, but we bring this lady.